Okay, it's 2:05 on the dot, and I would like to start with 29 participants on the screen and about 6, 7 people having a party in Georgia participating with us. I want to use this opportunity to welcome everyone. And again, as a way of introduction, I don't think I'm new to anybody or anybody is new to me. I am Christopher Kutseri, the chair, immediate past president and chair of the Nominating an Election Committee. And on this platform today, we are hosting the candidates for elective office. This is an information session slash a debate for the candidates to share with us their interest in the different positions. I would like to introduce members of the Nominating Election Committee, if they are here, if they are not, but at least let everybody be aware who is on that committee. So I chair the committee. You have Dr. Chine Logan, a member of the committee. You have Dr. Tosan Rumaria, member of the committee. You have Dr. Stella Padua, member of the committee. You have Dr. Oranu Becky, a member of the committee. You have Dr. Emeka Ezike, a member of the committee. You have Dr. Osamo Idahosa, a member of the committee. I think we have 7 of us, and I think I've clearly identified the 7 members of the committee, and I don't think I've actually missed anybody. Did I miss anybody, Dr. Rumaria? Did I miss anybody?
No, you didn't.
Thank you. So as part of the process for us today, we have myself as a moderator, we have Dr. Tosa as a moderator, and we have Dr. Logan as a timekeeper. So please, we would like to emphasize this is our process. We now have a number of questions for the candidates. We requested for questions from the general membership and from the committee. We did not get questions from the general membership, and I want to acknowledge Dr. Melife for being gracious enough to share questions with us. So at this point, we have a reasonable number of questions for this particular debate. And as part of the process, we will ask candidates to introduce themselves for 2 minutes. Each candidate will have 2 minutes. So basically just talk about, I'm a member of ANPA, this is what I do, this is my specialty, or this, I work at this hospital, I hold this position. Just a simple introduction. You would have 2 minutes. So please, let's gather our thoughts. And at 2 minutes, just tell us, we don't need to know, however you want to slice that introduction, but please keep it to 2 minutes. We're not talking about your manifesto at this point. It's just your introduction. Who you are, period. What you do, period. Okay? And then the other thing is, when it gets to the question and answer session, each candidate will be given 3 minutes per question. So I would, again, myself and Dr. Tosan will take turns in sharing the questions, and we will call on the candidates, and the candidate will have 3 minutes. The timekeeper is there, and once the time is up, the timekeeper will mute that line. At this point, I would suggest that everybody should mute themselves, please, because we don't want echo. If you don't mind, everybody should mute themselves. We really appreciate if you can mute yourself. That would be fantastic. So what I have basically done, I have officially started the meeting at 2:05. I have provided you a few guidelines as to the process. I have shared with us how, we would hope to conduct ourselves, or we would expect to conduct ourselves in a situation like this, keeping very closely to the time. We're not taking questions from the audience at this point. That is why I shared at the beginning that we sent an email out for over 2-3 weeks asking for questions. So colleagues out here, we will not be taking questions from you. Doesn't mean you cannot you cannot put things in the chat, but if I have the time, or if we have the time, we see the chat, we will respond to anything, not a question to the candidate, because we already have pre-selected questions to the candidate. The next time we will hear from the candidates will be at the national conference, at the business meeting. At that point, it's not even a question and answer session. It's basically, again, the candidates reintroducing themselves to us and telling us why they are the best fit for the position they are competing for. So that's what's going to happen at the national meeting. And there won't be any room for questions because it's a very tight meeting. And the other thing, you will get emailed from us and on the WhatsApp platform about the election process. This particular meeting is not talking about the election process, but please talk to other colleagues, other ANPA members. We will get a very clear, detailed email to the e-group and to the ANPA National platform. So please look out for that. And if you have the capacity to share that within the chapter chairs, please do as well when you get it on the national platform. The detailed process about how the election is going to happen at the conference at this point. So, Dr. Chine Logan, do you have anything to add? If you don't, then Dr. Tosan too, please go in that order, please.
I wanted to remind everyone to mute their.
Wait, Dr. Chine, Dr. Emelia, can you mute yourself, please? Please mute yourself as you join the meeting. I would appreciate it. Please mute yourself as you join the meeting, please. Okay, Dr. Logan, you want to go ahead, please?
Oh, no, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. I am going to be your timekeeper, and as Dr. Chris has suggested, we have 2 minutes for the introduction and 3 minutes per question, and hopefully we can hold a tight schedule to allow for additional questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Tosan, please.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tosan Iyore. I'll be one of the moderators at this session. I'll be asking questions with Dr. Okunseri, and I'll be alternating the questions. Thank you, and I hope we have a nice debate.
Thank you. Just want to say we have 52 people, so easily we have, that's a good one. That's a good one. Sorry, somebody's echoing from somewhere. Okay, good. So with that said, we will start with the president-elect position. We will, as a first question, president-elect, we will go to the treasurer. Another question, right, Dr. Tosan? Or should we just finish with the president-elect? I think we should take it that way. What do you think, Dr. Tosan?
I think we should take it in turn, but I thought we were going to let them introduce themselves.
Yes, they will do that. Yeah.
Yes, we'll take it in turns.
Okay.
President-elect and treasurer.
Good, thank you. So with that said, in terms of introduction, we will start with the president-elect position, and allow me to say, well, let us start with Dr. Gertie Anyanwoke at this point to introduce herself. And you have 2 minutes, Dr. Gertie. It's 2:12 at this point.
Good afternoon, my dear colleagues. My name is Gertie Anyanwoke. I am an infectious disease specialist. I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I am a medical director of infectious disease specialists of Baton Rouge. I am also working right now with the VA in the Baton Rouge CBOC. I also hold an MBA degree from Louisiana State University, and I love to sing and dance. Thank you.
Thank you. So we will hear from Dr. Iyore James, please.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for taking time out of your busy Saturday afternoon to listen to us introduce ourselves and answer your questions. I'm very delighted to be here. So I am Iyore James. I am a healthcare advocate for Nigeria. I currently practice as a minimally invasive general surgeon in Charlotte, North Carolina, with training in abdominal organ transplantation. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So my renal transplant work mainly takes place in Nigeria through Clarion Call Foundation. We have had the privilege to work alongside with Dr. Obi Akwana. My upbringing in Nigeria is what motivated me to pursue a career in medicine and public policy. This is why I did the dual MD, Masters of Arts in Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University School of Medicine and the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy. I believe in ANPA's mission. I believe in what ANPA can do. I believe that with dedicated members like you, ANPA can be the most effective driver of a healthier Nigeria in a healthier world. Thank you.
Thank you. So we will go to Dr. Mercy. We started Dr. Mercy Edionwe for the treasurer's position, please.
Okay, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Yes, my name is Dr. Mercy Edionwe. I am an internal medicine specialist here in the great state of Texas, specifically Houston, Texas. I work as a nocturnist, and I also am trained in wellness medicine. and do quite a bit of work in preventive health in terms of that for patients nearby. In ANPA, I am currently the ANPA Houston Advisory Council member in my local chapter, and in the national realm, I am currently the National IT Committee chair, as well as I serve on the national board and numerous other things. So I'm happy to be here, and I hope I can be able to show you why you should choose me as your treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Lanre Jimoh, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, and I think it's still morning on the West Coast. My name is Dr. Lanre Jimoh. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us today. I am a gastroenterologist, and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am a proud member of ANPA. I have been a member of ANPA for many years. I was born and raised in Nigeria. I went to medical school at Duke, and I also earned an MBA while I was there. I have served on in different roles at ANPA, and I look forward to telling you more about what we've done over the years. And I'm excited about the opportunity to discuss this and engage you. And I hope you, at the end of this conversation, believe that I am the best person for the job of treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. So, Dr. Chine and Dr. Tosan, just allow me, I think the president is on this call. I think it's only fair if we give her the opportunity to say one thing. Just, in 1 to 2 minutes, Dr. Iyore Anyanwoke, please. I think you're here. Yes, please. Can you just say a few, 1 to 2 minutes, just share a few things with us, please?
No, hi, everybody. Good afternoon. So I think I want to congratulate all the candidates who have come forward to serve. I think ANPA is in a great space. We have excellent candidates who are very passionate and who have shown themselves to be competent. And so we're looking forward to them being able to show us their vision. We wish them all the best. And thank you, Dr. Okunseri, and your team for embarking on this process. Thank you.
Again, let me also use the opportunity to ask Dr. Anyanwoke if he's available. Please, can you mute yourself if you're not talking, Dr. Anyanwoke, if you want to say a word or two, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
I'm not going to say much. I just want to congratulate the contestants. I wish them all the very best of luck. We have great candidates. Any of them will do an excellent job. But I press upon you to demonstrate your capabilities and your competencies, and may the best person win. All the best to you.
Thank you, Dr. Anyanwoke. So now, I think we are going to, please mute yourself if you are not speaking. Only the candidates at this point, once you are called upon, you can unmute and speak. So we're going to dive into the question session right now. I'm going to immediately pull out my questions again. And we will start with let's start with Dr. Gertie Anyanwoke. Then I will go, let me just pull out my questions. If you give me 1 minute, because I have to send a text message quickly. Where is the questions again here? Yeah, right at the bottom here. Okay. All right, good. All right, so the first question for the president-elect, one is, what motivates you to seek ANPA leadership? You have 3 minutes to share with us what motivates you to seek ANPA leadership.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. As a young girl, I found out, by interactions with people, that I had a passion for my community. I remember I used to be the president of the Literary and Debating Society in my high school in Lagos. And I used to tell the General Abacha regime what to do to better the lives of Nigerians. When I got into University of Lagos, for the first time, I actually stayed in a boarding school. And I realized how dilapidated the conditions were. Talk is cheap, myself and my team got into place to replace our dilapidated conditions with favorable conditions. I've always been a passionate person for my community. So my passion for community to make it better has always been my driving force in anything I do. The same thing with ANPA. I have done multiple medical missions on my own, but you can only do so much as one person. ANPA, with the vision that ANPA has, the teamwork and the amount of doctors that you have, we come together and we do bigger and better things. You can affect the lives of not only thousands, but even millions of people at the end of the day. That bigger picture is what keeps me motivated to help, to give back to the community where I came from. I know that in this race for ANPA presidency, I am your best candidate because talk is cheap. You have to be able to have the resources to be able to attain the vision and the mission of ANPA. And that's where I come in. ANPA needs to have the financial backbone to sustain our mission, to carry out our vision and make it the reality that we've all hoped for. That is why I think I am the best person for this. With my financial background, I'm a businesswoman, I have an MBA degree. I think I bring a lot to the table to keep ANPA programs sustainable and keep ANPA and take ANPA to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will have the same question to Dr. Iyore James, please. I will repeat the question again so that we're on the same page. So the question is simply, what motivates you to seek ANPA leadership? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. So I mentioned earlier that my upbringing in Nigeria is what motivated me to pursue a career in medicine. Somebody is talking.
Dr. Ifeoma Thompson, can you mute yourself, please? Please. So go ahead, Dr. James.
Thank you.
Sorry, I think I'll mute people that talk, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Dr. If you give me that permission.
Please go ahead and mute people. Anybody's not muted, I just mute the person. Sorry. Go ahead, Dr. James.
And I hope that I have a few more seconds added to my time. Okay, great.
Timekeeper, please take note.
Okay, great. So I already mentioned that my upbringing in Nigeria motivated me to pursue a career in medicine and public policy. And I remember distinctly, and I think I shared this in the video, which hopefully most of you have watched, where, as a twin, it just really bothered me, the things that I saw and the disparities within the same community that I lived in. And so when I decided to go to medical school, I decided I was going to pursue public policy. I wasn't going to do public health because I wanted to be in the political arena, because I realized from a very young age that long-lasting change happens at the policy level. And so I needed to be able to take care of patients at bedside, but I also needed to be able to engage on the political front to drive policy that could bring about long-lasting change. So this is really my motivation for ANPA, wanting to be a leader in ANPA. I mean, when I was introduced to ANPA in 2013 in Charlotte, North Carolina, I was just mesmerized by the amount of Nigerian American physicians who actually had the same mindset. And so for me, I was sold. I was going to devote my time, my volunteer work to making sure that this vision could be realized. And I've been with ANPA for a while. I've observed, I've contributed as committee member, I've contributed as the inaugural president of ANPA, pushing our political advocacy agenda to meet our vision. And I think that I have demonstrated during the time period that I led this organization in my abilities. Yes, talk is cheap, you're absolutely right, but I'm also a doer. I demonstrated my ability to fully engage our members. I led very efficient fundraising initiatives. I developed strong stakeholder relationships in health and health advocacy space, and I use political advocacy to enhance ANPA's visibility to U.S. Policymakers. I think our organization as a whole is growing, is evolving in these 30 years. We have an increasing number of Nigerian Americans trained in the U.S. that are looking to contribute, that are looking to give back. We have an increasing desire for ANPA to have a stronger influence on policymakers in the U.S. and in Nigeria, again, because we realize that this is really where the long-lasting change is. And I have taken the bold step in doing this, with moving ANPA in that direction with impact through strategic collaboration organizational insight, political instincts, emotional intelligence, and a robust external relationship that I have used to implement that vision for impact, which now continues under the leadership of Dr. Susan Edionwe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I will pass on to Dr. Tosan to take on the treasurer's questions, please.
Hi, 1 second. Just get out my questions. So my first question will go to Dr. Lanre Jimoh. The first question is, what motivates you to seek ANPA leadership? Why are you running for this position in particular, the candidate for treasurer?
Thank you very much, Honorable Moderator. The question you ask is really about why do I love ANPA? Because for me, that's really why I'm here. I have served on different levels in ANPA, but I really want to go back to when I first joined ANPA in 2007. I was a medical student at Duke, and I had the chance to come out to Charlotte for an away rotation in the city, and I met the leaders here. And immediately I was inspired because I felt like I found a home. I found like I found a family away from home. You see, deep down, I'm a patriot. I carry Nigeria with me everywhere, in my heart, my sleeves, everywhere. And when we all sit around and talk about what is the meaning of what we do, so we all chose to be doctors because we love to serve and we love to give back. And being in this country and the opportunities that's afforded us to really make a good living, the question becomes, yes, you've done well for yourself. Yes, you've done well for your family. What more can you do? I'm intimately aware that we all have a short number of years on this earth. No matter how long you live, you're going to go away at some point. But ANPA allows us to make a lasting impact beyond the clinic room, beyond my endoscopy suite as a GI doctor, beyond your OR as a surgeon. How can you give back? Where can you achieve that multiplier effect? Because as Dr. Anyanwoke said, we can all do so much alone, but there's a multiplier effect that ANPA gives you as a machinery. And I really want to thank again all the founding fathers of ANPA. What we've been able to achieve in 30 years is remarkable. But when I sit here and look at what we can do in the next 30 years, I am so inspired. There's tremendous potential. And having served on the board for the past 4 years, I think the next step is to serve as treasurer, and not just at any time, but at this point in our organization's history. I think this position is potentially going to be more important than ever, and I hope I can talk more about that. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Jimoh. I'm going to ask the same question to Dr. Mercy Edionwe. Mercy, what motivates you to seek ANPA leadership? Specifically, why are you running for this position?
Thank you so much, moderator. I really appreciate that question. So the reason why I'm seeking leadership, it's because of the passion that I have for ANPA. I wish I knew about ANPA in medical school. I didn't know about ANPA. I knew about ANPA in 2015 when the first ANPA Houston chair, Dr. Ike Ilanshu, when he brought a group of people that he went to medical school with, a group of people he knew, and talked about this organization called ANPA, the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas. And he talked about his vision about wanting to restart the ANPA Houston chapter. And I just rose my hand up and I said, I'll do it. So I was immediately in the leadership position within ANPA Houston. And we just kind of started from the bottom up to bring awareness about ANPA in our local community, which was well received. We did community health fairs. We did several events. And then it was later on that I got to be exposed to ANPA Nationals. And I was like, whoa, so there's a group of Nigerian physicians who are all aligned for the cause, which is a healthier Nigeria and a healthier world. And I was enthralled and I was intrigued and I wanted to do more. I wanted to be in more leadership. So that's when I became the IT committee member, and then went up to be IT chair. And through there, I saw some things that I could help, and as far as solutions, and which we'll talk more about but you guys are aware of the My ANPA app, the Club Express app, even revitalizing the website. So it's just been a passion of mine to be part of the team that moves ANPA to that next level. And so that's why because of that passion, that's why I want to be in leadership in ANPA. And in particularly the treasury role, being very close with the current treasurer through the past 2 years have given me an insight of what's working well and what we need to improve. And so based on that, I see that, okay, from what we're doing now, here's how we can move on to this next level. And again, if you permit me later on, I will talk about that as well. But overall, why I want to be in leadership in ANPA is because there's power in numbers. The wonderful work we're already doing in Nigeria is just great, but there's more that can be done. And, the more the merrier. So I want to be able to continue to give back with this group of people and move not only ANPA, but ultimately Nigeria in a healthier Nigeria and a healthier world. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll pass it back on to Dr. Okunseri.
Thanks, Dr. Tosan. So we're going to now start from, again, we just finished the treasurer. Could you mute yourself, please? Dr. Lewis, please mute yourself, please. Thank you. Can you help mute that person, Dr. Tosan, please? Thank you. Okay. So we started with the president, and I know we just ended up with the treasurer. I'm happy to again go back to the president's team, and then we'll just take it in that turn. Does anybody see any reason why I should not go in that order? Go back to the president, and then we'll come back like that, okay? I'm happy because the treasurer just finished talking. But let's take the treasurers again. Let's start from the treasurer, and then we'll come back to the president. So it's like, 1 and 2, 2 and 1, that sort of a thing. So in terms of the treasurer, I know you've just had one question, so I would ask the other question from them and said, first time we started with Mercy ended, so we'll start with you, Mercy, I know, and then we'll come back to Dr. Edionwe in Dr. Lanre Jimoh in that order, please, okay? Sure. So how will you engage the members to ensure they pay their dues on time, both at the national and chapter level? So I'll repeat the question again. How will you engage the members to ensure they pay their dues, both at the national and state levels?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is you have to really remind them and circulate, okay, this is the time to pay your dues. Circulate it through nationals, through the WhatsApp group, through the e-group, through the even Club Express, and then have a flyer that circulates through all the chapters. But more importantly, the question is, why are they forgetting to pay their dues? I've already talked to some members in the past, and a lot of times their questions are, what are we paying our dues for? Where is our dues going to? So having a graphical representation of where your dues are going will be key so that people are able to know and able to be excited to pay their membership dues. A lot of the things that we do in ANPA, we need to publicize more. And, the projects, the initiatives from the ANPA Echo to, Stop the Bleed, to our mission trips. These are all initiatives that are very successful and that require money. So if we're able to now market what we're doing to the members, they're able to now say, okay, yeah, I mean, my money's being well spent. And so that's kind of where I see the major way to make sure that members are paying their dues. Also, through Club Express is the platform that we have, the membership management platform, that does remind members towards the end of the month, towards the end of the year to pay their dues. But we can also have circulations through there of the things that we're doing and that nature. So all in all, I think just encouraging members to pay their dues, showing them what we're doing and where their money is going, I think will be key in making sure that members do pay. Thank you.
Thank you. So the same question goes to Dr. Lanre Jimoh. I'm going to repeat the question so that how will you engage the members to ensure they pay their dues at both the national and state levels?
Thank you very much, Honorable Moderator. I agree with a lot of what my opponent has said. We have to show membership value. I think that's really what she was trying to get at, is why are they paying their dues? What does their dues get them? What is the value in being an ANPA member? And we do a lot. And obviously, as we all know, if there's no money, there's no mission, right? My good friend Stanley Okoro says that a lot. We have to make sure that people understand that the good work we're doing costs money. Now, we have to do better with internal messaging. I personally believe we can make sure that we not only show all the good things we're doing internally, but we can also project that to potential members. Membership value goes beyond just, doing mission trips or doing ECHO, but also what benefits does being an ANPA member get you? Is it just a networking? Are there discounts, purchase agreements, discounts for tickets, consular services? What perks come with being an ANPA member? What other thing does it allow you to take advantage of? And we're going to try to define these things clearly. But I also want to talk about how we can use technology to improve the ease of collection of dues. So I would like to convince the board and the EXCO to allow every single chapter treasurer have a dongle. We can purchase a dongle. It's about $10, $9.42 if you look on Amazon, and you can attach that to your iPhone or your iPad so that at every single meeting, you can ask people, okay, you never pay your dues, bring your, they have their wallet with them, swipe your card right there. Instead of you telling them, go on Zelle, people forget, people are busy. But if they're there, you can take their dues right there and then. And there are other things that are best practices I've seen in different chapters. I've spoken to several chapter chairs. There are lots of ideas that we can see what is working in Dallas, what is working in Carolinas, what's working in Georgia, and let's see if we can standardize that across the entire nation. But I'm excited about the opportunity to do that, and we're going to be able to show people what their membership gets them, and we're going to be able to collect the money more easily. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jimoh. I think Dr. Tosa, it's you to take on at this point.
Yes, hi. So my next question is going to go to Dr. James Iyore. We started with Gertie. Dr. James, what is your vision for ANPA going forward? Did you hear my question?
Yes, I did. I was just unmuting myself. Thank you very much, Ms. Moderator. So yes, my vision for ANPA going forward, I think that ANPA does a lot of great charitable work in Nigeria and in our local communities in the States. And like I mentioned before, for you to even have longer impact, you have to be able to drive advocacy. And in the world of advocacy, the charitable works that you do actually push that agenda further. So what am I talking about? There are a lot of our members that do work in their community in and out of America, in Nigeria. But we haven't really been able to capitalize the work that they're doing, being involved in the community, to drive creation of infrastructure to allow better health outcomes. So this is my vision for ANPA. It's really not, there are many good programs that are happening. So it's really not about bringing another good program, but it's really about expanding what we currently have, strengthening them in where we're currently working, and moving them across the nation. Because after all, we are for a healthier Nigeria. We're not just concentrated in one region of the country. So it is my vision that we will be able to use evidence-based medicine to identify communities that are really at need for the things that we are doing in Nigeria, and really push that in communities that really need our presence. And the way we can do that is using members like those of you here on the Zoom call who are already doing those kind of work in the different communities, or even establishing outside relationships with organizations who are already working in those environments to push the agenda. So that is really my big overall vision for the organization, is really using our charitable work to push our advocacy agenda to bring about more long-lasting change, and really pushing that agenda throughout the country, South, West, East, and North.
Thanks so much, Dr. James. I'm going to ask Dr. Anyanwoke the same question. Gertie, what is your vision for ANPA going forward?
Sorry, I was muted. So I have a vision for ANPA that I have named the AIPB vision. A, driving healthcare advancement. I, creating significant infrastructural impact. P, fostering personal and professional development. And B, delivering business benefits to ANPA and its members and members of Nigeria. How would you do this? In terms of creating an advanced healthcare system, it's to be able to partner and collaborate with others in the same field, to be able to do that in Nigeria. At the end of the day, the driving force behind ANPA is our vision. Because of this vision, we have a number of articles that we have determined to be our mission. Part of that is to help with the healthcare system in Nigeria. We all know about the Jackpot syndrome right now. A lot of us have left the country. There is a dearth of medical doctors, practitioners to help with the healthcare in Nigeria. And remember, our vision is a healthier Nigeria in a healthier world. We will partner with the Federal Ministry of Health to be able to deliver the benefits of the fact that you have so many, at least 100 subspecialties in ANPA, professionals in ANPA, to be able to deliver that benefit to Nigeria. They are knocking on our doors every single day. Our limitation as ANPA has been the fact that we're a 501c non-for-profit organization. If we remedy that limitation by forming a for-profit arm of ANPA, we are going to help to solve a lot of the problems we have, and then give ANPA the financial backing it needs to be able to carry out our mission and our vision in Nigeria. Having said that, I talked about the fostering personal and professional growth. A lot of us here in America want to go back to Nigeria to give something back to the community. And in this vision that I have, members of ANPA will be able to see that there's value creation. They'll be able to stay here using technological means to be able to deliver lectures in Nigeria, improving the healthcare system in Nigeria, teaching the young doctors how to be a doctor that provides standardized care in Nigeria, and people don't have to leave Nigeria to go somewhere else, thereby reversing the brain drain with brain gain, and then also reversing medical tourism. Another vision that I have is that of the overarching creating the business benefits for ANPA and the members. At the end of the day, ANPA's vision requires money to achieve the mission. The money that is required, I mean, people, you've watched me for the past 5 years. I've been raising funds for medical mission.
She's muted. Gertie, you're muted. Gertie, you're muted.
Gertie, you have to unmute yourself.
It says the host muted me.
Yes,
every single year I've been raising money
Gertie,
for the past 5 years
your time
for medical mission in Nigeria.
That's why.
And
No, but you muted her
Fairly.
now.
No, we're asking the same people for money.
So
But
then,
we haven't had any to make money. When I talk about the for-profit arm of ANPA.
No, you can't be telling her to give her an extra 2 minutes or so. You muted her by mistake. Oh,
Who's talking there, please? Who is talking there, please?
It keeps saying the host muted me.
Dr. Getty, just give me a second. Let me get who is talking.
Can you guys hear me?
Getty, can you just
the
wait a
host
minute?
muted me.
No, Getty, just wait. Whatever time you...
That for-profit arm of ANPA...
Getty, can you just wait? Whatever time
will be able to churn in the profit into ANPA. ANPA will use it to create a robust secretariat to be able to assist the membership and also able to amplify our programs in Nigeria that gives us a lot of the vision and the mission that we want to.
So, thanks.
So this is Chene. Can you hear me?
I was muted again.
Yes, we can hear you.
I think you went over the time, and I tried with the alarm, but it didn't work. But if that's okay, I think you've gone over the time quite a bit. Maybe you can wrap up.
Okay. In a nutshell, my business background and the MBA degree I have, I will utilize it for the benefit of ANPA to create a strong financial backbone so that ANPA can amplify its projects, ANPA can amplify its mission and achieve its vision in Nigeria and benefit Nigerians and the professionals here, ANPA members. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Getty. I just want to quickly remind us on the call, please, do not speak when somebody is speaking because it's going to create my being unable to know what if there's a problem, if there's no problem. We have a timekeeper, and what we said from the beginning is we will mute you once you get to that time limit, just so that we can be consistent. We don't want to give one person additional minute and then we don't give the other person. So please bear with us. Dr. Chine is the timekeeper. Dr. Tosa and myself are moderators. We are watching the same program, or we're all here. So please, we will be able to manage. We will not try to shortchange anybody. And so please don't jump in. I appeal to everybody. Let's stay professional like we're doing a fantastic job. I thank you all for what you're doing. So we're going to go on now. We've heard from Dr. Anyanwoke. We're going to go on now to the treasurer. Dr. Tosa, am I in line, please? The treasurer's next, am I correct?
Yes, you're correct. The treasurer's next, yeah.
Okay. So the next set of questions will be going to our treasurers. And I think if I remember correctly, I started with Dr. Lanre Jimoh. I will go to Dr. Mercy. Dr. Lanre, am I correct? Good, thank you for the sign. Okay, so now.
You started with me, right? So it's back to Dr. Jimoh, I believe.
Okay, so Dr. Jimoh, ahead is you, right?
Sounds good, let's do it.
Okay, because for my list here, it was Gertie, Iyore, Lanre, Edionwe, Lanre, Iyore, and Gertie. Then now it's going to be Lanre and Edionwe. Okay. Okay. I just have a little list I'm keeping here, so that's what I just read from. Now, for Dr. Jimoh, what ideas do you have to ensure the financial sustainability of ANPA? What ideas do you have to ensure the financial sustainability of ANPA? Thank you.
Thank you for the question, sir. So if you look at my 3-point agenda, the very first point on that is something I call the PEF, which is the Pearl Endowment Fund. ANPA is turning 30. That's where the Pearl comes from. My hope is that we can raise $1 million in endowment money. This fund is going to fund the proceeds from the fund. We're not going to be touching that capital. The proceeds will help us achieve our vision, especially in engagement in the secretariat in Nigeria. That's going to cost money. We have to be able to hire competent people and pay them appropriately for them to carry out our goals. So, I want to just say quickly, I haven't been on the board for the past 4 years, and especially in the past 2 years, it's becoming apparent that we are at an inflection point in ANPA's history. And we need to be able to articulate and execute a value proposition for ANPA to be a catalyst for healthcare delivery transformation in Nigeria. and we are well positioned to achieve that. So when we go and look to raise that money, we will have a strong value proposition about what that money is going to be doing for the Nigerian society. We will be able to help transfer skills, also make sure that we can reduce the stem of medical outbound tourism. And so we have a strong message and we have a strong plan, and the ANPA commercial arm in Nigeria is going to allow us to achieve that. So though that's the big idea, we need to diversify our revenue stream, not just from dues, not just from going around asking members to donate, but actually having recurrent revenue that is not dues based. So that's a key part of my vision. Thank you.
Thank you. So the same question goes to Dr. Edionwe. I'm going to restate the question again. What ideas do you have to ensure the financial sustainability of ANPA?
Thank you, Doctor. So I have some ideas based on, again, being a committee chair, being a board member, and working very closely with the ESCO and the ANPA treasurer. So I start with my history. I've always been somewhat of an organizer. Any organization that I'm in, I implement a system approach. And in MPAG, we implemented a system, an online platform called Neon CRM, which helped with our donations management, and it also helped with our member management platform. I was very instrumental in onboarding that for the MPAG. If those of you guys don't know, it's Nigerian Physician Advocacy Group, as the inaugural treasurer. On the ANPA side, I've helped with the Club Express with the membership management system, which has been, again, another online platform that we've used to integrate the members and have them pay in an all-in-one online platform, as well as to be able to message the various key players within our group. And lastly, because of the intricacies of Club Express and how rigid it was, I moved forward to now work on creating our own customized convention management system. Currently, it's called My ANPA, which you guys have used in order to onboard yourselves when it comes to the convention and paying for the convention activities as well as the actual convention itself. So I've done this before, and I want to do it again in the treasury level. How do I want to do that? I want to have an online platform for financial management system. We typically, currently, I believe we use, currently we use one system, but I want to make it more simplified, whereby
that's not nice.
Excuse me. Currently, we use one system, but I want to be able to use an online, simplified financial management system whereby we can be able to see on the dashboard, okay, where are we when it comes to our budget? Where are we when it comes to the allocations of certain projects? Where are we when it comes to revenue that we're getting in? And we see it in a real-time basis. I want that to be now the next organizational system so that we can be able to know where we are at any given time. Another idea is I want, again, like my opponent had said, I also agree with him. Yes, it's nice to get donations from the members, and you guys are such a giving group, but we need to now focus on external sources of income, external sources of revenue through sponsorships. And I know that the current ESCO is also having some ideas of how there can be additional revenues that can be generated and opportunities for the members. So I would, as treasurer, would like to continue what the current ESCO is doing as far as revenue generation for this organization and to provide membership opportunities. But on top of that, let's increase our grants. Although, our current president has gotten grants for us, let's do more, and let's do more sponsorship. So that's where I would look into. I'd also look into collaboration with the ANPA Foundation. The ANPA Foundation was part of their mission is to be the fundraising arm of.
Thank you. You were muted because your time was up. Thank you. Okay. So now, Dr. Tosa, is your call for the presidential candidates, please.
I don't know if we did. Yes, you're right. Yeah. So I'll go back to Dr. Gertie. I think she.
Yes.
Yeah. So Gertie, what's your plan to increase membership for ANPA? Please give specific details of your plan, how you make it attractive to Nigerian physicians. Did you hear me?
I did. Thank you so much for that question. ANPA is on the verge of blowing up, in my opinion. And I think that we do need to have a plan to increase our ANPA membership. The biggest part of it all is value creation. Creating value so that members feel like even before anybody says something, they want to pay their ANPA dues. What I am currently proposing, and I'm in the bid to work with the ANPA leadership, the business arm proposal, it's going to add a lot of value to them being a member of ANPA. That will increase membership. Improved awareness. It used to be that we will go to Nigeria, we will do these medical missions. I mean, look at other professional organizations, AMA, IDSA, ACP, they are always in the news. They do one little thing, they blow it up, they put a megaphone, they really blow it up. Yet ANPA, year in, year out, we do ANPA-sponsored medical mission, we do ANPA-certified medical mission. We need to put multiple megaphones and blow this stuff up. We need to engage with the populace where they are, which is the social media. We go to medical mission and we do 30 minutes on channels. We think we have done, the press. Yes, that is the press, but that's the old press. We need to meet the community where they are. In fact, I did that in the last mission we had in Umuahia. I was able to get, as treasurer of ANPA, I was able to get FSL Securities to sponsor us. Those of you that were at the medical mission, you also, they actually sponsored a night of a dinner for us. But in addition, they sponsored ACLS. They sponsored our social media arm during the medical mission, starting in March, still sponsoring it till today. So you had the social media agog with ANPA and the things that ANPA was doing in the last few months, especially during that medical mission. That's how we increase membership. I'm telling you all, when I take the stuff we've done to my classmates, a lot of them start trying to join ANPA. There's another way. Keep the younger doctors encouraged. Make them see that it's a profession, it adds to their professional portfolio, and also support them like a family, while we're also keeping engaged the older members, the founding fathers of ANPA. We must never forget them, because today we come and we see an ANPA. The foundation was created. The solid foundation was created by the founders of ANPA. They have created this foundation that is so solid for us to come and build on. So it is good to engage them and keep their wisdom. That is going to actually help ANPA to grow more. There are other things that we can do. We can collaborate and have deals with life insurance companies, loans, discounts, so that when young doctors are coming out of medical school or residency training or fellowship, if they want a loan to buy a house, it should be at a decent rate, perhaps even discounted because they're members of ANPA. If they want to start an office, perhaps at a discounted rate because they are members of ANPA. All those things go a long way in adding value. I got my first life insurance through AMA, and I still have it, and I still pay my AMA dues. Those are things that can add value and increase membership.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Gertie. I'll ask the same questions of Dr. James. Dr. James, what's your plan to increase ANPA membership? Please give specific details of how you will make ANPA attractive, actually, to new and younger members. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. So I would just really start with the common desire to give back among ANPA members and doctors of Nigerian descent and affiliation. The easiest thing to do in the short term is really to showcase what members and non-members are already doing and have that be a source of inspiration to foster collaboration. Okay, so that's the easiest short-term to do. That doesn't require money or anything to do. A lot of time, I talk to a lot of people, they're ANPA members doing things they don't even know about. So the simplest thing in the short term is just to really bring this regular forum together where you're showcasing those who are active paid members of ANPA and those who are actually not paid but could potentially be paid, and really begin to foster that collaboration. Okay, so we understand that there are some chapters in ANPA that are thriving, and there's some chapters that are not doing so well. So we need a deep dive analysis as to why this is happening. Are there lessons that we can learn from successful chapters and develop solutions for the less thriving chapters? So those are the simple, medium, short-term things that don't require any funding or anything, just some manpower to get it done. I think that in terms of, so when ANPA has a major collaborative event, like let's take the malaria initiative, for example. Again, my whole thing is really to get our programs throughout the country. There are 20-something chapters or so. If we have, as an organization, decide that we want to focus on a specific initiative, well, we get our chapters to sponsor a village or a community in Nigeria or whatever, and develop a toolbox for those chapters, checklist for those chapters to go through. So you're giving a guide, because we're very busy physicians. I mean, we have a lot of other things that we're doing. So it's always about making it easy for the people you're trying to engage to participate. And have the chapters sponsor a village, a community, or whatever it is, and use that to boost membership engagement, which in turn, the members who are involved tell their friends or whatever, and then that brings more people into the fold. And we've done this. This is not rocket science. In MPAG, we did this with ANPA Florida, where they dedicated one of their fall walks, raising money to build 2 boreholes in 2 rural communities in Nigeria, where now you have 4,500 Nigerians who have access to clean water. As most of you know, 70% of Nigerians do not have access to clean water. So this is something sustainable. And now in that community, you have ANPA Florida with all of the partners that brought this initiative to this village, has that sign and their village showing that this is what we did. With, again, the whole idea of increasing our influence with policymakers here in Nigeria. I was able to help lead a coalition of Nigerian healthcare professionals to engage in the political process in the US. And from that, there were a lot of Nigerian American appointees in the US administration. And because of that, we're able to honor this appointees in DC with the help of ANPA DMV that was led by Dr. Aham Onyeke at the time. Again, increasing the visibility. A lot of people came into MPAG because of that event. A lot of people knew about ANPA because of that event.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the next set of questions will go to the candidates for treasurer. This time around, we're going to start with Dr. Edionwe, because the last time we started with Dr. Lanre. So for the treasurers, we have, so Dr. Edionwe, how can ANPA diversify its investment to get a better financial turnover? How? Again, I will restate the question. How can ANPA diversify its investment to get a better financial turnover? Sorry, that's the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So there's multiple, so you're saying how can ANPA diversify to get better returns? Well, what I'm hearing from that is streams of income. How can we use money to make money, essentially. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we want to look at where do we currently have our funds, and are they yielding the amount that they should be yielding? Should we be moving them in different financial accounts so that they're yielding a greater yield? And so that's number one. And then two, after we kind of look at that from that perspective, we start now thinking about revenue generation initiatives. And part of that is what the current ESCO is actually looking at. And we as board members are privy to that and is super excited. But being able to provide a stream of revenue generation whereby, we're able to get opportunities for ANPA to, get money from the initiatives that they may provide, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in education, things of that nature. And then lastly, the way we can do revenue generation, again, is by having sponsorship, by being more, we are as physicians, believe it or not, we as physicians, we are a commodity. And there are a lot of companies that are willing to donate to an organization like ours because they want the audience. And so being able to harness into these different companies and have them also, donate and invest in us, and in return, they provide benefits for our members. I think that will be key. There's other aspects of things, just like, for example, in the AMA, they have membership benefits. And one way they're able to provide certain services, and because they're providing certain services to the members through this company, they get a certain percentage back. And these services, the members are benefiting because they're getting these services, and then ANPA's benefiting because they're getting a little bit of the revenue from broadcasting these services. So these are the different ways that we could increase our revenue generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Tosan. Sorry, this is me still. Yes, sorry. The same question goes to Lanre as well. So I'm going to repeat the question. Sorry. I don't know why I thought it was Tosan for 1 minute. So let's get back to the question. So, to Dr. Jimoh, how can ANPA diversify its investment to get a better financial return or financial autonomy? So,
it's not fair.
Can we please mute?
You're allowed to belong there, women. She's not.
Okay.
I don't know who's talking. Is that somebody?
I think the person has been muted. I hope I get my few seconds back.
Yes,
this is a very good question. Thank you so much for not forgetting me. I was worried for a second, but thank you for coming back. So your question is about how we can get better returns on our investment. According to our bylaws, the treasurer is also the head of our investment committee, in addition to being the head of our budget and finance committee. I am aware of our current investment account that is being handled by Equitable Advisors. We, as of the last report that Madam Treasurer gave, we have about $258,000 in it, and it returned about $18,000. That was about a 7% return in the past year. I will be looking at that with a fine-tooth comb, but I'll be looking at it to see if we could potentially look at other better ETFs or better investment vehicles that will give us better returns. And let me just state, I think I may be wrong, but I believe I am if elected treasurer, I will be the first treasurer walking in with an MBA already. I think my Dr. Anyanwoke got her MBA while she was in office, and but I am very, very comfortable with investment, portfolio management, financial statements, and all of that. But to go back to the original question, which is how are we spending money to make money? My opponent talked about sponsorships. Definitely, we need to do better with that. But I'm not just saying I'm going to bring sponsorships. I'm saying I have brought sponsorships. This year in California, I was able to bring a platinum sponsor. That's $20,000. So this is not something I'm saying I'm going to be doing. I've already been doing it. And I was able to even get $10,000 in donation for the last medical mission. So we are going to do sponsorships better than ever with me in office, I guarantee you. In addition to that, we're talking about grants. I am excited about the fact that the board has agreed to hire an association management company. The work that we need in our secretariat really is more than what one or two people can do. And that's the real truth. So I'm excited about us investing in that very critical infrastructure and human capital. We're looking at people who can actually write grants. And while I was at Brown during fellowship, I wrote grants with my PIs. We wrote our own grants, T32 grants. I'm very comfortable supervising that process. Furthermore, endowments, we talked about that. With the help of all of you, I hope we can raise $1 million. That is very bold. Nobody has done that in ANPA before. I think we can do it. Our business arm is going to do very well in Nigeria. We are like people have said, they're already knocking on our doors. There are lots of opportunities to create value, not in a missionary type of situation. We're doing mission work. No, this is actual us doing business in Nigeria and being able to reduce the stem of medical tourism. $1.5 billion is lost every year in Nigeria. If we can bring 10% of that back, that's 150 million. And if ANPA can get only 1% of that, that is $1.5 million that our business arm could realistically achieve within 3 years. And I hope I can help spearhead that. I will look forward to working closely with the foundation. The foundation's mission is to basically get us as ANPA members to bequeath a part of our estate to the foundation when we depart. As ANPA is now at 30, some of our founding fathers are going to be sunsetting, and mothers are going to be sunsetting at some point. We want to be able to keep that value in the organization. I look forward to working with the foundation on that. I also
Thank you. Thank you. So it's now back to Dr. Tosan, please, starting with Iyore and then Dr. Gertie. Dr. Iyore and then Dr. Gertie. So Tosan is all yours now.
Hi. This question goes to Dr. James. What leadership skills and experience make you the best candidate for this position? Dr. James.
Thank you very much, Dr. Otosa. So the question is, what leadership skill and experience makes me the best candidate for this position?
Yes.
Okay, great. I think there's several, but what comes to mind within the ANPA context is really my time as the inaugural president of the Nigerian Physicians Advocacy Group, which is the 501c4 political advocacy arm of ANPA. I think that, my leadership style is such that I'm able to, when I see talent, people who are very invested and committed, I sort of let them run with the idea, obviously in strong collaboration with the overall mission of the organization, and really just give people that ability to thrive in their own space with their own strengths. I think this is how we were able to, in the short time that I was present, able to achieve so much. I have no one is a stranger to me. I'm able to foster relationships very quickly, which is very important when you are trying to fundraise or do advocacy. I think that I'm very effective in the way that I communicate. This is probably part of my training as a surgeon. I think that I definitely have some political insight in terms of knowing, how to, backdoor diplomacy to get things done. And to get things done effectively for the whole, as opposed to just for individual benefit. And the emotional intelligence, like I said, my desire to be a healthcare advocate for Nigeria and Nigerians didn't start yesterday. It started before I was a teenager, and I've had a lot of time to observe and learn, and be mentored and coached into how to lead effectively. With delegating at work, again, understanding where people's skill sets are and really allowing them to thrive in that space.
Thursday
That's
morning.
it.
Thank you.
Tosan?
Yeah, thanks so much. The same question goes to Gertie.
Thank you
Gertie,
for that question.
what leadership skills and experience make you the best candidate for this position?
Thank you, Dr. Tosan, for that question. Number one, I am a forward thinker. I work exceptionally very well with everyone. You don't need any intermediaries to work with me. I'm a great collaborator. I am a team player. I am inclusive. I have a track record of visionary and exemplary leadership. In the last 2 weeks, members of ANPA, I hope, have been seeing the testimonial videos that have been put out by my team as a result of my more than 30 years leadership. I know how to be a team builder. I am a team builder. During COVID-19, all of you here in ANPA, you witnessed it. We, first of all, had like an advocacy arm with the Federal Ministry of Health in Nigeria. And from that came the collaboration with the Nigerian Governors Forum. And during that time, we built our team. I eventually became the chair of the COVID-19 task force of ANPA in that crisis. And you all saw how this team was able to build together and put together a magnificent work in terms of helping people here in the diaspora, but most especially in Nigeria. And I've heard in many other African countries that have underserved population. In the medical mission, I have consistently not only participated in the medical mission, I have been actively involved in organizing the medical mission. And you guys go back and look at it. I have worked well with every team that I have had to work with. Now, we know that it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be able to put up this medical mission because you need to raise money. You have to be a people's person to be able to raise money. This year, 2024, ANPA has raised the most money we've ever raised for a medical mission. It was more than $60,000. I was in charge of that. I have also been the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee. And I remember when I came in, like Dr. Lanre said, being the treasurer means you have to be chair of the ANPA Budget and Finance Committee. So when I came in, walked into the door, I felt that I needed to be close to all the local chapter treasurers. And so I created the ANPA Budget and Finance Committee WhatsApp group for us to be able to communicate and be closer, the National Treasury and the local chapter treasurers to be closer. This is why in collaboration, in a very short time, we were able to achieve the accomplishment of the split payment system of ANPA, whereby members used to, I'm a chapter chair, a former chapter chair myself. So I know the issues at the chapter level. In the past, some people will pay to the national, some people will pay to the local. And at the end of the day, there's problems with reconciliation, with secretariat and all that. We created the split payment system in collaboration with the chapters to be able to simplify this process. And that's what you talk about, utilizing technology and innovation to make your work better. But it was a team approach. That's why every local chapter is on that. I've also been
Thanks a lot, Dr. Gertie. I'm going to hand it over now to Dr. Okunteri.
Thanks, Dr. Tosan. So the next set of questions will go to the candidates for treasurer. So it's exciting to say that this question is, you've had it before. So for the treasurer, we will start with Dr. Lanre Jimoh. What leadership skills and experience make you the best candidate for this position?
Thank you very much, Honorable Moderator. So, well, personality. I am a people's person. I get along with everybody. I'm very congenial. I am also very collaborative. I've worked with several people on this call in different situations, but my journey in ANPA really forced me to be a leader. When I came to ANPA, the leaders then said, look, we have a generational issue here. We need to get young people like you to come into ANPA. So I sought to create the medical student arm of ANPA, DNPT, which has over the past 17 years been a solid pipeline for ANPA membership. So I basically had no choice. I had to create the organization. I remember debating, wrestling, if I should join Facebook or not. Facebook was only 2 or 3 years old at that time in 2007. I wasn't really comfortable with it, but I said, look, I need it. I need technology to achieve this goal. So I joined. I am able to make decisions like that and find ways to reach out and network. I've built a network of friends across the entire nation. Many of these people are now ANPA members. It's interesting that we're talking about the Houston chapter. One of our DNPT members, Dr. Elochono Ike, recreated that Houston chapter that was spoken about earlier. We have ANPA members all over now from DNPT. But beyond that, I have also found that leadership involves you basically stepping in and doing what needs to be done. So you have to be able to see the gaps and say, okay, I think I can help fix these gaps. So after I left DNPT, I didn't just go sit down somewhere. I came back to ANPA. I realized that we needed to do a better job with IMGs. And so I joined the education committee under the leadership of Dr. Ranui Beke. And they've done so much. I'm so proud of the committee. I worked very hard to get people matched, and that's one of my most fulfilling parts and experiences as an ANPA member. And you saw a testimonial from one of my former mentees, and their success is my success. I take exceptional pride in that. But going further, I also moved onto the bylaws committee. There was a lot of heavy lifting. We needed to basically reform our board and reform our governance from the consultancy feedback. I served as secretary of that committee assiduously for over 3 years. We were working painstakingly, several meetings under the leadership of Dr. Macaulay Noigbo. And I believe I served meritoriously there as well. I've served ANPA also creating a new chapter. That takes work. There was a gap. ANPA Carolinas is still ANPA Carolinas, but the state is very big. There was opportunity in the triad. We created a chapter there, and I'm very proud of that achievement. So again, for me, leadership is not something I wake up in the morning and say I want to do. What happens is I see gaps and I say, you know what? I believe I can step in and I can help create a team to fix these gaps. And so that's my personality. I'm easygoing. I get along with everybody, and I see opportunities. I love to work with a team. I love to achieve things. Somebody once said that the meaning of life is basically planting a tree under whose shade you don't expect to sit. And that is my guiding principles. I do things for posterity. I do things for impact, even if it may not benefit me immediately. But it's needed. I can do it. I wake up and I get it done. I work with a team and I get it done. That's who I am. Thank you.
Thank you. The same question goes to Dr. Edionwe. I'll repeat the question again. What leadership skills and experience make you the best candidate for this position?
Thank you so much. Great question. So I possess several leadership skills that I think will qualify me to be, that qualifies me as the best treasurer for this, or the best candidate for this position. First of all, I always consider myself a worker bee because I am, when there's something that needs to be done, I am there and I make sure that it gets done. Even if it's not my position, it's fine. I just want to make sure that the whole goal, we as a team, we get what we set out to do done. So I've done that in the local chapter of ANPA Houston. I was actually only the IT committee member at the time, but I was so instrumental in rebuilding ANPA Houston and helping to set up some of the events that we've done, because I was just like, all hands on deck. That's always my motto, all hands on deck. Doesn't matter what position you're in, as long as there's a need and you can do it, just go ahead and do it. That's how I work. Another thing is I have quite a bit of organizational skills. And as I've said before, with the MPAD, putting and implementing Neon CRM as an organizational tool. Then in the ANPA side, having both the Club Express in collaboration with membership and ESCO, and then the My ANPA app, again, is form of organizational. And then that's what I want to do for the treasurer. So I like to use innovation and technology to see how we can organize it. So it's not just on us to be doing paper and pen. I like technology and how it can be implemented. And lastly, the passion. I love the mission of ANPA. And so having a passion is key in anything you do. It just gets you to be persevering in anything you do. So I feel like my passion for this mission of ANPA and just being able to be like-minded individuals is what qualifies me, within the leadership arena. And then a strategist. That's another thing. I also plan. I'm a planner in terms of, okay, if I see a solution, if I see a problem, what are the different solutions and how best can we get the optimal solution to help our goals? So that's what I see as far as leadership skills. Thank you.
Thank you. So Dr. Tosan, I think we're rounding up our last or second to the last question, if I'm not mistaken, but Dr. Tosan, you have the floor at this point.
Hi, this next final question from us goes to Gertie, Dr. Anyanwoke. What is your plan to engage the members, address their concerns, and improve their participation both at the chapter and national level?
Thank you so much for that question. As someone who always believes in the grassroots of any organization that I get into, I will make sure that we have it on the calendar to have a quarterly meeting with the whole ANPA membership, where as president, I get to listen to their issues, listen to what they're talking about, and understand what they're talking about, and seek for their input in figuring out the solutions. Because as a leader, if you're not listening, you'll be solving the problems that the people do not think are the necessary problems. So that's one. Number two, I will have a close communication with all the chapter chairs. I've already shown that as treasurer. First thing I did when I came in as treasurer was to create the budget and finance committee WhatsApp group. You ask your local treasurers, they are in that WhatsApp group. And if they need any information, they are very close to me. Some of them will actually private text me and the information is flowing. I even got them a help for the Club Express. I'm not the IT person, but I spent hours, and I have to give Mercy Edionwe her props. I think one day she spent 4 hours with me when I just first came in as treasurer, because I always believe that if you're going to do well in the job, you have to learn to use the tools for the job. So it was my prerogative to learn how to use Club Express. That's one of the reasons why today members call me when they can't get the secretary to help them with something. It's not because of anything else. It's just because I make myself available to the membership. So that's two. The third thing to be done is to make sure that ANPA has a robust secretariat, a back office that supports our secretariat so that it can be more responsive to the ANPA membership. However, I know that the times are hard. I am the treasurer. I know what is our budget. I know how much we have in the accounts. This is why I have worked very hard with our current EXCO and the board. Currently, the ANPA leadership, apart from the board and the EXCO, we have a committee for months. First, this EXCO resuscitated the ANPA Nigeria, which was like 2 decades ago started, but it went into, like, nobody renewed it at the CSC. We have spent the last 1.5 years renewing that so that we can do business in Nigeria legally and we can be viable as an organization. That moves us to the next step, which is the ANPA business arm. I know that the membership may not know that we have gone far in this business arm I keep talking about, and I have been spearheading it from the ESCO side. What this business arm is going to do is to be able to take those opportunities that ANPA is currently not utilizing because we are limited by our 501c3 status, and make profit out of those opportunities, turn around, funnel the money back into ANPA, and then ANPA uses that money for our missions and achieve our vision on steroids. You think we see 5,000 patients on medical mission? Or we may be affecting the lives of millions of people. Our mission, our vision is a healthier Nigeria in a healthier world. And we're
Thanks so much, Dr. Anyanwoke. The same question is going to go to Dr. James. Dr. James, what's your plan to engage the members, address their concerns, and improve their participation, both at the chapter and local levels?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I think the first step in engaging any organizational body is being able to communicate with the members directly. And actually, it's been a great time with this campaign on what I call my telephone campaign tour, really getting to know members and hearing what they're thinking about and what their concerns are. And actually being able to meet a member who's actually from Sokoto, so northwest Nigeria. We do have a ANPA member from the north. In any event, so in the immediate term, it's election season. We know what the new bylaws have proposed and how that has been a source of discontent for a lot of the members. So one of the things I would do in the immediate short term is, walking towards amendment of the bylaws. Again, this would involve getting members together on a less frequent basis to address some of these issues. So that would be one of the biggest thing that I bring up when I start. The other thing, like I said, is our current members do not even know what is going on within the organization. So there needs to be clear communication, okay? I talked earlier about having those regular forums where members, whether they're paid members or non-paid members, are really able to showcase what they're doing with a goal for member interaction to foster collaboration within the organization. A lot of times, oh, someone is talking. A lot of times people join ANPA because of word of mouth. I have someone who graduated from Tufts Medical School who is of Nigerian affiliation. I tell him all the great things happening at ANPA. That's how he comes. So again, these are not things that require a lot of financial resource. I do agree that administrative help is necessary because again, we're all busy physicians. We have our families, we have different things going on in our lives. But really being able to also bring up that administrative support and understanding from the current treasurer that money is an issue, then my goal will be, I will be dedicated to raising funds to make sure that we can get this support on day one. That will be a priority of mine. So I think, again, in terms of engaging member is really understanding the chapters that are thriving. Why are they thriving and how can we implement that across the board? And this will take a lot of time, just small group discussions, focused target group discussions to really implement solutions that are long lasting. The other thing I would say, since I have a lot of time, is that our physicians are married to, some of them have non-physicians. My husband is a non-physician. He's a software person. So doing activities that are family friendly, where we can get our non-physician spouses and kids together to do. And I know a lot of this happens at the local level, but even being more intentional and strategic about sort of implementing sort of some of those things that would benefit our members from a non-professional standpoint.
Thanks so much, Dr. James. I'll hand it over back to Dr. Okunsari. Just as a quick reminder, this debate has been recorded and it will be shared on the national level as we normally do. Dr. Okunsari, please.
Thanks, Dr. Tosan. I appreciate again, we have now reached the end of all the questions we have for all the candidates. I'm going to just follow up with a few closing remarks. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Scott Amakpo. I don't know, Dr. Scott, are you still on the call? I think I saw you at point. I would like you to just share a word of wisdom with us, as I try to, round up this process. Dr. Scott, you all know Dr. Scott. If you don't, he's been with, I don't need to do any introduction. We all know Dr. Scott. So let's just give Dr. Scott at least the opportunity to just a word of wisdom to us and to our candidates as well. Dr. Scott, you're there? Dr. Scott there, I think I saw him. You want to
Yes,
unmute?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yes, Dr. Scott.
I'm here. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Kunseri. Thank you, Dr. Iyore Tosan, who is like my daughter. You know,
There goes, sir. I have to greet you well.
Yeah, thank you, Tosan. Thank you. And of course, Chris is like a son to me too.
Yes,
now,
Scott.
I want to find out whether the ANPA bylaws allow us to have 2 president-elects and 2 treasurers. If the bylaws allow us to, I think we should just adopt all of these individuals. They are all outstandingly talented. And I'm really, really very glad. I truly hope that the ANPA leaders, elders are listening. There was once upon a time when we used to beg people to take offices. Now we have people wanting to take offices. That tells us that some things that we did in the past have been very, very productive and they are working. So I want to thank all of you very much. This has been very uplifting for me personally. And it is actually a tribute to all of those who have made ANPA so successful, including, of course, the immediate past president, who is still immediate past president, Dr. Kunseri. I want to thank all of you and congratulate ANPA for this milestone. And I want to also thank all of those who have presented and the talents they have demonstrated. It is so pleasing and so uplifting for me. That is all I can contribute at this time. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Scott. We will always continue to respect your presence in every environment we are because we know how much you have contributed to everybody around here. Thanks, Dr. Scott. We're so grateful. So as we close this, a couple of things I just want to share with the group. One, based on the bylaws, we are expected to have 2 national debate and information sessions. We've just had one. The next one is going to be at a conference, and that taken care of. The other thing, again, is to remind everybody here, and please share with friends and colleagues and members, we will be sending out a detailed process about the election that would occur at the conference. That email will go out to the e-group. The same information will go out on the ANPA National platform. And please share with the different groups we all belong to. So I think I have those 2 things, and I would allow Dr. Chine to say something and Dr. Tosan to say something, and we can call it a day. Dr. Chine, you want to say something, please?
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for, especially to the candidates. As Professor Monkor has said, we have great candidates, and it's this is going to be really tough to figure things out. But we certainly love and value all of your investments into this organization now and in the future, whether you become the president now or become the president later or become the treasurer now or later. Thank you very much for your time, and please don't shoot me for muting you guys. When promise. Thank you.
Dr. Chine, don't go yet because there's something we might have to do, but Tosan, go ahead. Before people leave, please. Go ahead, Dr. Tosan.
I just want to echo again that it's been a wonderful debate. We have excellent candidates. I want to thank everybody for sharing their ideas and their vision. I think ANPA is only going to go stronger if any of these candidates become our leaders. I also want to thank Dr. Kunseri and the nomination committee. Dr. Kunseri especially has been very diligent and forthright, and Dr. Chine, to make sure that this happens properly in an efficient manner, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Tosan. Something just came up now. I would, again, Chine, can you help us? Each candidate, starting from Dr. Iyore James, just give us a 2-minute closing remark. Dr. Iyore first, Dr. Gertie afterwards, Dr. Lanre Jimoh, and Dr. Edionwe. Just a 2-minute closing remark of anything you want to say, just 2 minutes. Closing remark. If you don't have anything to say, that's fine. Somebody said, can the candidates also have a closing remark? So I said, okay. Any closing remark from the candidates? 2 minutes that you want to just say anything.
And so you wanted me to start, Dr. Okunseri?
Yes, whatever you want to say, that's fine. Just round up, closing remarks, just 2 minutes, please.
Okay, sure. I can say something for 2 minutes. So once again, I want to reiterate, I believe in ANPA's mission. I believe in what ANPA can do. I believe that with dedicated members like you on this platform, and even those who couldn't make it, that we can really drive ANPA's vision further. I've served in ANPA in various committees in many capacities, done a lot of behind the scenes stuff, that we talk about all the successes. And I'm very aware of ANPA's potential and growth over the last 30 years. With more and more Nigerian American physicians who train in the US wanting to be part of ANPA, with more and more us wanting to influence policymakers in the US and Nigeria, I think that I'm well equipped to lead ANPA during this time of evolution and growth. As inaugural president of ANPAC, I already demonstrated this, and I won't keep talking about it, but you guys have hopefully seen all the things. Like I said, it was strategic collaboration, organizational insight, political instincts.
I thought you put a background on my Zoom.
Oh.
Can you mute that person, please? I'm sorry, please.
And so with all of the qualities I bring, that is the same tenacity I hope to bring to ANPA Executive Committee. I hope working in seamless collaboration with the board, with local chapter chairs, with ANPA-affiliated alumni groups, with MPAG and ANPA Foundation. Over the next 6 years, I would work to transform ANPA for greatness while maintaining the visions of our founding members. It was 5 years ago as we were preparing for our 25th anniversary where Dr. Iyore James, a founding ANPA member, gave this insight. He said, those who came to Anaheim came from all over the US and from every part of Nigeria, from the north, from the south, because we didn't want to be bystanders or have our potential contributions to our people lost. 5 years later, that vision continues. And that's what actually inspires me. It includes all of us here today, regardless of our agenda, our tribe, our religious affiliation, whether we're just starting out in our career, whether we're empty nesters, whether we're retired, or anywhere in between. ANPA definitely needs to adapt to the changing realities to unveil its maximum potential. And I'm not ignorant of the challenges such as funding issues, administrative support, and member participation. Hopefully, I've been able to answer some of your questions. And hopefully, please go back to the campaign materials and look to learn more about my vision, about who I am, and why I do what I do. So thank you so much for listening. Thanks for taking your time this Saturday afternoon.
Thank you. Can you mute this person, Dr. Mike? Who is this person? Can you mute this person?
I think I picked up a screw or something in my right rear tire. Go ahead and do it.
Can you mute this person, please?
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so hopefully everybody heard what I said loud and clear.
Sure, yes, you were heard, yes. Everybody heard.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah, so Dr. Gertie now, please. 2 minutes, please. You can unmute yourself. You're still muted, Gertie. Okay.
Thank you, my fellow ANPA colleagues. This has been a privilege to be here talking to you guys, communicating my vision of ANPA. In these very difficult economic times, I want to say that my team and I have been able to raise more than $600,000 on behalf of ANPA, amongst which the $250,000 we got from Iyore and Dr. Oswa was amongst. Now, it is good for us to raise money, but there are limitations. We need a very robust ANPA that has a strong financial standing to be able to support its projects, to meet its mission, its goals, its objectives, and eventually its vision. The way I see it, the next leader of ANPA has to be able to work with a lot of people. We have a lot of business offerings in Nigeria. We do not want anyone that's going to come in and upturn the table. We want a level-headed leadership. We want someone that can listen to membership. We want somebody that can collaborate with others, that can work well with everybody else. As we do our philanthropy work, we also have to learn that business that medicine is a business and that we have to be better at generating that fund. We already have knowledges amongst us as professionals. We can use that to get money for ANPA. I will liken it to the situation of what happened with the telephone companies. For so many years, engineers knew that there was money to be had in the room because there were minutes from the telephone companies and there was internet data from the internet service. How were you going to be able to put this together and use it as a mobile device was the biggest issue until BlackBerry came to the scene. And BlackBerry was able to give people a product that combined these attributes. And while they did that, they solved the problem of a lot of people and they made billions of dollars in that process. A few years later, Apple came and took it up. And we all know where that is today. Same as ANPA. For so many years, I am sure that we are not the first people to discover that there is business to be done. It's been there. Everybody knows it. For the first time, we're having these great opportunities like the stars are aligning. And ANPA also is going to, by the grace of God, if I'm elected, have for the first time an MBA physician, an MBA holding physician sitting in office and helping ANPA to navigate this very difficult and nuanced process. That is what I bring. I bring the ability for ANPA to be able to go to the next level. That is why my slogan is, let us get it right together with Gertie. Because we're on the precipice where we have to move to the next level. Like I said before, the founding fathers of ANPA has built a very solid foundation. Now, we are the kids coming behind. We need to take it up a notch further. And that is where you need to vote Gertie for us to get it right together. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, I think I said Dr. Lanre Jimoh, then Dr. Edionwe, right? I hope I'm right.
Correct.
Thank you. Can we go in that order? Just again, it's 2 minutes, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking the time to listen to us. I want to thank all my fellow contestants here for presenting their vision. I know every one of them is passionate about this organization, and we will be in good hands no matter who wins. Gertie was just talking about being the kids. I'm actually an ANPA kid, if you think about it. I came here 17 years ago, and I've grown up in this organization. So I'm your person. But it's also, I'm not running just because of that. I'm running because of the time that we are in today. We stand on the shoulders of giants, no doubt about that. All the leaders that have come before us, including the current president, we have really, really made a lot of impact at home and here. Whoever sits in this treasurer position could really, really make a significant impact on whether ANPA will mature financially. We cannot, at 30 years old, be a dues-dependent organization. That is why I'm running. In 2009, the only other time we've gone to Nigeria, I went. ANPA actually bought my ticket then. So I thank you all for that. Dr. Maduwa took me there as the DMPT president, and we're able to engage members of NIMSA, able to help take books, help them with their curriculum revision. I'm proud of that effort. But I've done so much since then. But what I'm really excited about is what we're about to do together in the next 2 years. I look forward to serving with an all-star team. I look forward to basically making sure that our next trip to Nigeria gives us the most return on investment ever. I am excited about 2025. You need a treasurer who will seize the opportunity and can seize the opportunity. Let me repeat myself. Seize the opportunity and can seize the opportunity. I believe I am that guy. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to carry everybody along. I'm going to make sure you know how we're doing on our fundraising. I'm going to make sure you know how we're doing on our investments. I'm going to make sure you know how we're doing on our revenues and our expenditure. You can trust me. Integrity, responsibility, transparency, but most important, a team player and a leader with vision. I am the next generation. They told us that we will be the leaders of tomorrow. So tomorrow is here and I'm standing firm. Please vote Lanre Jimoh for treasurer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jimoh. Dr. Edionwe, please.
Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you, ANPA colleagues, and thank you for helping bring this upon us, this debate. I thank you guys for spending your Saturday just listening to a really important debate about the future of ANPA. And just like my opponent said, you can sense the passion that we all have for ANPA. And we've all done numerous things and dedicated time just to make sure that ANPA succeeds. Now it's time to take ANPA to another level. And I believe as treasurer, I can help with that. So I'm committed as ANPA treasurer to financial integrity, transparency, innovation, and strategic growth. As I've said before, that can be done through an implementation of a online financial management system. It can be done with collaboration with our other arms of ANPA, such as the ANPA Foundation, but also NPAG as well. It can also be done through acquiring external sources of income. And lastly, it can be done through adherence to our budget. And all these four together can help build a robust financial health of ANPA. And when I talk about adherence to the budget, I didn't go further on this in previous questions, so I want to take the opportunity to do it here. Scaling down on some of the things that we may be actually spending in excess. For example, the convention, finding more leaner ways to be able to hold the convention so that it is not a burden on the ESCO or on the members when it comes to having to pay for convention fees and prices. So these are just some of the ideas that I have. I am excited to run and continue to run as and eventually win as your treasurer for ANPA. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody. I just want to echo something Dr. Scott said. I'm so grateful for the way we conducted ourselves at this meeting. I'm honestly grateful to everybody who have been here. We adhered to the rules, and it's always very exciting for all of us. I would imagine for me, when we keep to the rules and things go smooth, everybody's fine and happy. This is why we're all in ANPA. It's all about relationships. And again, I thank each and every one of you. And I'm so grateful, for this opportunity I have to work with you guys. And I thank you for the NEC committee as well. So thank you very much. And we're good to go. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Thank you.